on too. Introduce some variety. Don't just be posting like the same old Shakeology picture every day or the same workout picture every day. Try to be creative with how you're presenting the same content, so people don't get bored with it. Try to add value with all of your posts, right? So think about ways that you can do that creatively, whether it's sharing recipes, motivational quotes, things that are, introducing some humor, little like fitness tips or nutrition tips, whatever. But kind of try to look at it through that lens every time you're posting something. Is it adding value to the people that are following you? And then something that I've started is I have like a notebook right next to my laptop, and anything that pops into my mind that I think might be a good posting idea, I'll like jot it down, and I kind of have this idea board going. So if something happens that's funny and I'm like, oh, I just posted something, I don't need this right now, but I'm gonna like save it in my back pocket for when I'm sort of short on inspiration. So I just have this running list so I can draw from it whenever I need to. And be you, right? You're going to have friends that are your close friends that know you really well. There's going to be people once you start really expanding your network that you don't necessarily know, but be genuine, be you. I like to say, don't always be like perfectly made up in your pictures, right? You don't want to, I feel like women are annoyed by those people that always seem to have their act together. And most of us never really do, but like, it's kind of annoying when you see somebody posting on Facebook about how like perfect their life is and they get it all right and their kids are perfect and this and that. So I don't know, be genuine. And let's see what else. Use those daily posting themes, Transformation Tuesday, Throwback Thursday. If you need ideas, those are great ones to draw from, and they're really good sort of common themes for putting your story out there and kind of showing how the products fit into your life. And we'll talk a little bit more about that too. But your overall goal, think about with your timeline, you want your friends and the people that are following you, you want to be the first thing that pops into their mind when they think about health and fitness. You want them to think about like a workout and be like, oh, Hadley would like this or whatever. I started getting really excited in the last couple of weeks because people were posting stuff to my timeline about that like water workout where people were on a yoga mat that was like floating in a pool and just random fitness stuff. But it was people thought of me when they saw that. And so they were like tagging me in posts, and I was like, okay, this is it. This means I'm doing something right because I'm what's popping into their mind when they see something that's health and nutrition related. And then come up with a couple themes, like, 3 to 5 different topics that are outside of the health and fitness world that you can post about regularly. So if it's your family, if it's hobbies, other things that you're interested in, kind of keep those handy so you have things other than health and fitness to post about. So it's kind of, you're presenting a more well-rounded picture, and people are seeing more than just the health and fitness stuff. It's all about balance, I think. So like I'll go over the course of a week, I'll look at everything I've posted, I'll think about what posts I'm planning, and I try to make sure it's balanced. Like, okay, I did a couple of workout pictures this week and I don't want that to get old, so now I'm going to mix it up. Just try to add some variety. One thing that's not on here, and I think, right now, given current events and things, be Switzerland, right? You don't want to be talking politics. Yes to the like spread the love kind of stuff, but we probably don't want to be talking about gun control and some of those like hot button topics, because that's a good way to sort of alienate people, or there's a lot of drama out there on Facebook. And somebody gave me this hint. It was on one of the trainings that we did. I don't remember who it was, but I have noticed personally that seems to be true. Somebody warned about using picture collages too much, right? If somebody, and I love doing picture collages, I think they're great, but I have started noticing since somebody told me this, that I get a lot more traction on posts that are like a single clear picture that are kind of scroll stoppers than if I do a collage. And whoever did this training, I don't know, Brooke, you might remember this, but they talked about how collages get busy, right? And people their eyes are not as drawn to it because there's kind of too much for them to look at. So they tend to kind of scroll past them. And so since hearing that, I've kind of paid attention to it, and I have sort of noticed that it's true. So that's one of those things that you just kind of have to gauge, you know, watch your posts and kind of take note of what works and what doesn't work. Okay, you can go ahead, Susie. Okay, so helpful hints and tricks for sort of making it work. Be Facebook popular. The more you're liking and commenting on other people's things, the more that they're going to see your posts. So Facebook shows you stuff in your newsfeed from the people that it thinks that you're close friends with, and vice versa. So if you go through your browse through your friends list every now and then, and there's a bunch of people who you haven't seen in your newsfeed regularly, go to their timeline and start liking and commenting on a few of their posts, and it'll kind of get you back on each other's radar. So, you know, they're seeing you and their timeline again too. One of the questions that came up when I asked what people wanted to talk about tonight was kind of priming your page. If you're planning on doing a big post, either a call to action for a challenge group or a coaching opportunity post, priming your page earlier in the day is a good way to sort of get ready for that. Ask a question, put a question out there that you know people are going to want to comment on, right? People love giving their opinions. And so if you do this, it's driving a lot of all these people that are commenting and liking and whatever, it's driving a lot of traffic to your page, to your timeline. And later in the day, when you go out and post your call to action, more people are going to see it. So that's kind of a good trick. I think the best one I did was I just asked for book recommendations, and people are like, still, this was like a month and a half ago, every now and then I'm still getting people commenting like, oh, I read that book that so-and-so recommended, and it just kept going and going. Respond to all your comments. When people comment on your posts, respond, because it helps boost your posts back up in people's news feeds. It's called story bumping. So I told Susie that I was kind of a nerd because I went out and I did some research last night on some of the Facebook algorithms, and there's some really cool stuff out there. But if you, older posts of yours will appear at the top of friends' timelines if friends start interacting with the content again. So, you know, if people are liking and commenting on your posts, it's going to drive it further up. They also look at the number, so they don't just look at the number of likes and comments to determine how high in the news feed it goes, but also when people are liking and commenting on it. So it's going to appear higher in the news feeds if it gets a lot of likes early on. If it kind of falls off after that, it's gonna start dropping in news feeds. So there's some interesting stuff out there if you ever want to just Google about the Facebook algorithms. I also learned that if you message somebody, if you're messaging with someone in advance of a post, that ensures that they're going to see your updates in their newsfeed too. And experiment with posting times, right? Think about when your audience is online looking at Facebook. You know, if you're a stay-at-home mom, and, you know, morning is a good time, or afternoon, or if you work, you know, or most of your people looking either early in the morning or late in the evening, but experiment. For whatever reason, for me, like 5 p.m. is a great time. I get the most traction. I don't really understand it. I feel like people would be on their way home from work or getting ready to leave, but it seems to work. And one of the things that I've had to kind of get over my big hang up with Facebook, really think about the fact that it's a really small percentage of your friends that are seeing your posts. So don't spend a lot of time worrying about if you're annoying people. Chances are they're really only seeing a small bit of what you do. I'm always amazed by people who I feel like are probably seeing my Facebook posts every day, and then I see them in person, and they're like, "Oh, you're doing what? Oh, you're a coach? Well, what does that mean? What are these groups?" And I'm like, it seems like they've seen nothing. So don't worry about annoying people. Keep putting it out there consistently, and it'll work. Okay, next. So adding friends and interest groups. So, you know, try to add at least 10 friends every day. Always try to be growing that network. One of the things I mentioned was going into your friends list go into one of your friends' timelines, right? And you can go to their friends. And when it shows all of their friends, unless they've made their friend list private, which most people I don't think do that, there will be an option for you to select people you might know. And so you can click on people you might know, and it's going to show all of their friends that you have a lot of mutual friends with. And you can just go down the line and send a friend request. Pick people that you have over 6 or 7 mutual friends. That's a totally arbitrary number. Pick whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. It was like physically impossible for me to add a friend unless I actually knew who they were. I was so nervous about it. Now I don't even care. I'm telling you, I literally, when I started 6 months ago, I had 250 friends, and now I'm like past 1,300. I don't know half of the people, and I don't care anymore. I just go through and I just add them. It's kind of like, I don't know, I think Susie said it's kind of like a game, and it totally is. And I'm amazed at how many people accept them. And I didn't want to do this for a long time either. After somebody accepts, do I do guys or just women? That's a good question somebody asked. And I've actually been kind of toying with this. I don't really do a lot of men unless I know who they are. I feel like I don't really see a need to like add a bunch of random men that I don't know to my network. I mean, if I have like 50 mutual friends with someone, I'll add them, but I haven't been adding a whole lot of men. So that's a good question. Although a lot of times, like, you get good leads from that. So I don't know, maybe I should rethink that. So I'll go through my friends list, look for people I might know. And I've heard Heather talk for a long time about how after somebody accepts her friend request, she actually sends them a message. And I was really hesitant to do that. And just in the last 2 weeks, I have started, and I will tell you, it has made a huge difference. So all these random people accept my friend request, right? I'll have 50 mutual friends with them, but I don't even know any of those mutual friends anymore. But they don't know that. So I send them a message, and I just say, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. I love, making new connections like this on Facebook. It's amazing when you see how many mutual friends we have. Our paths have probably crossed at some point. Hope you're doing well, whatever. So I'll go through and send that to everybody that accepts my requests. And I have had more people respond, and some don't, and that's fine, but a lot of them do. And I'll tell you, like, the best example was just this week, this woman responded, and she was like, oh, hey, thanks for the message. I looked at your timeline. That's really cool that you're a fitness coach. I actually am just starting an all-women's hiking group. Would you like to join? And I was like, sure, that sounds great. That's a good way to kind of get my name out there. So she adds me to this group, and then she posts, and I was like, hey, I just added Hadley Sorensen to our group. She's a fitness coach if anybody needs any help. And I was like, thanks for the free advertising. I mean, it was like, it blew me away. So you never know. So I've gotten lots of good little connections, and it was really cool. So just send them a message. Don't be shy about it. And if they don't respond, who cares? Because you don't really know them anyways. It's fine. Look for interest groups that you really are interested in to join, right? So don't join a bunch of interest groups for things that you don't really care about or whatever, because you're not gonna get any leads or friends out of that, because they're gonna know that you're not legitimate, right? So look for groups, things that really interest you. Actively post and participate. Be genuine, right? Like I said, they can tell when someone's just trolling for customers. They know, there's so many network marketing people out there, and they do that. So a lot of groups will block you or delete your posts. So this is one of the times when it's good. You don't want to have Beachbody posted all over your timeline. So what I've been doing that's been working pretty well is I post something like on a running group, or I'm commenting on other people's things. And once I actually start a conversation with somebody, then I'll send them a friend request. And most of the time they accept it. But I don't talk about Beachbody. I don't mention coaching. I don't say anything about that within the group. If I've established a conversation with somebody and taken it kind of offline from the group, then I might bring it up. But even still, if they accept my friend request, I don't say anything to them for a while. I just let them start seeing my posts. And then eventually maybe I'll message them, but I try to like strike up more of a conversation with them before that. And it's been working really well. This is the first month. I think I have 4 people in my challenge group, bought challenge packs. I didn't know them before. They're from a running group, a few different running groups. And, you know, we met and they started seeing my posts, and then I messaged them and they were in. So that's that. Okay, next slide. Okay, so do's and don'ts. We've talked about some of this already. Don't use the stock photos, right? Like these examples here, the logos and don't talk about sales or buy this or things that make it look like you're pushing products. We don't want our timelines to look like an advertisement. I think our biggest win here is that we're not really pushing products. We offer a legitimate service. And the products are really just kind of one of the tools that we use. So if your timeline looks like an advertisement, it's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like we're pushing products. Okay, next slide. What you do want to do is tell your story, but tell your story and show how coaching, how the products, how the whole sort of lifestyle, how it works for you, how it fits into your life. Make yourself vulnerable, right? Share your struggles and successes. You're not perfect. And I think the biggest thing I hear when I talk to people about coaching is like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not in good enough shape, or my eating habits aren't great, or whatever. So you want to kind of eliminate that fear and show them that coaches, I don't know any coaches that are perfect either, right? Just take that doubt away for them. You know, you talk about trying your coaching posts, whatever, to talk about concerns you had, you know, either with starting as a coach or starting a program. Was it not having enough time? Was it going to cost money? Weren't in good enough shape, whatever. But, you know, approach those things, tell how you dealt with them, and, you know, they're really not an issue. Customize your message for your target audience. So if you're a working mom, talk about how you fit it all in and how coaching or how the products help you do that. Same if you're a stay-at-home mom, you know, kind of gear your message towards your target audience so people can see what it's doing for you. So I love the whole like facts tell but stories sell, right? They don't want to see the advertisement, but if they're seeing your before and after pictures and kind of what it's doing for you, what it's doing for your family, that's what's gonna get people. So that is really it. That is all I have. It was a lot. I don't know, do we want to do questions? If anybody has questions, you want to ask them now before we move on to Susie's piece, or should we just do it at the end?
Let's do it all together at the end, because I think like social media altogether, people might just have questions in general. So we'll just do it all at the end, I think is probably better.
Sounds good. All right.
That works. Well, thank you so much, Hadley. I have so many notes scribbled down over here. Even after being a coach for a year and a half now, I have so many things that I like just relearned from you. And then like you just strategize like a whole new, I guess, level even from me. So thank you for that. Okay, so Instagram, this is my favorite outlet. This is my Instagram name. We're going to start with, I know not a lot of people do Instagram, but if you guys see, this is my timeline from today. It's done in thirds. If you've never done Instagram, it's 3 pictures across. The biggest thing for you is you want to have a handle, like mine is Misfit Jackson, that has to do with health and fitness. And for those of you that have Snapchat, you want to make sure that your Instagram and your Snapchat are the same handle, just because people on Instagram will actually search for you on Snapchat with the same handle. That's just kind of how it works. But you can see I have a clear, concise public profile, just like with Facebook. I have a photo of myself, just my picture, not me and my dog, just me. A little kind of rundown of like my hashtags that I use, a little bit about me, and then you can see the photos. So you'll notice here I've got a red, white, and blue theme going, and this little shape here on the bottom is actually part of my logo. So I'm really big on quotes. So something that I've just kind of branded, part of my brand is doing quotes. So what whatever your brand is, you have to figure out what works for you, and you have to be consistent with it. And so because Instagram is in thirds, I do 2 pictures and a quote, 2 pictures and a quote, 2 pictures and a quote. So no matter what day of the week you go and look at my profile, you see this nice, concise visual with pictures of me, pictures of my quotes, pictures of my life, pictures of my transformations, and all that good stuff. So it's just like on Facebook, you're still sharing your story. And a top coach gave me this great advice on some training. It's give, asks. So you always want to give your followers to like things that they can take away, and then you always want to ask them something to try and get them to interact with you on Instagram. And again, I mentioned the rules of threes. You have to be a hashtag queen or king on Instagram, because that's how people will find you. You also have to find your brand, live your brand. And I'm going to kind of go back over the hashtag and the branding. And then you want to follow those who are following you. You can see that on the top here, right above edit profile, it says I have 1,200 followers, and I'm only following 1,000. So I've got about 200 people that are following me that I'm not following, which is okay. But I follow the majority of the people that are following me. You want to comment on pictures, and you want to DM your hot shots. And I'll go back over that. And DM just means direct message. Hold on, I saw this chat box pop up. Okay, so add new friends. So we're actually going to go interactive with this. So if you guys have Instagram, I want you to go ahead and pull up your phone just so you can be visual. On the bottom, there is a search, like a little magnifying glass, and in that it'll show you videos that you might like, posts that you might like, and you can kind of just like scroll around and find different images. So on the left here, you can see like these are all videos that have to do with health and fitness. Of course, I'm going to find one that has to do with health and fitness. And when you click on them, you want to find a picture that has, I don't know, a normal amount of likes, like probably less than 100. Because if they've got like 5,000 views or something, you don't need to like them. They're never going to follow you back. They already have 1 million followers. We want to find the people that don't have that many followers and don't have that huge of a following on Instagram yet. So again, you follow back any new followers. So if someone follows you, you can kind of go over here on the right-hand side where it says they're following you, which is the heart section on the bottom tab of Instagram. And you can see like, oh, your friend Caitlin Morgan is on Instagram. Well, we're already friends on Facebook, so I can add her, and it's the same because sometimes I post content on Instagram that I don't post on Facebook. And sometimes I won't add them. It just varies. Sometimes people are more active on Instagram than they are on Facebook, so it never hurts to have an extra follower or add somebody else. And then also you can see who's liking your photos. So on this right-hand side, you can see like Alicia Miguel, she liked my photo. Well, I'm going to go to Alicia's profile picture and see if I am following her already, and then I can follow her. I can like her pictures and kind of start to build that relationship. So these 2 tabs are really important in Instagram. You want to make sure that you're aware of what's going on in your search tab and aware of what's going on in your heart tab. And these are on the very bottom of your phone when you look at your phone in your Instagram app. You don't want to just be another person on Instagram. You want to make sure that you're building a relationship with all of your followers. So something that's really important is as you're starting to gain new followers, I would take time on like a Saturday or a Sunday and make a list of the people that you want to like reach out to or direct message that week. I would start with like 10 people and move the list up to like maybe 30, depending on how into Instagram you are. And what I would do with that is like make a list, and then throughout the week, like every day, like let's say I'm doing 10 people. So I have this list of 10 people. Every day I'm going to message 2 of them. So what I want to do, like let's say Alicia Miguel, for example, I'm going to go to her profile and I'm going to like and comment. 3 pictures I'm going to like, and 1 picture I'm going to comment. And then I'm going to send her a direct message. And I'm going to say like, hey, I saw you you tried the Raspberry Quest bar. What did you think? I can never find the good flavors. Like, where did you buy it? And start to build that relationship. It doesn't have to do with health and fitness. This was just an example because I recently sent this message. But but this is a good way to start to build that relationship. And then this one on the bottom of my following from the picture on the right, which it says like Patrice Allegan, whatever, she's a spammer. So what I did with her is I just went ahead and I like opened her profile and blocked her. You can always tell that they're spammers because they're random people and they just like tag really random people. And it's usually like gain more followers by doing this. Another way to add more friends is to go to the Explore tab, which again is the magnifying glass. And in the top, hold on, let me go back really quickly. So right here, actually on the search bar, on the top right-hand side of the search bar, there's like that little add people. And that'll take you to this Discover People page. And you can find people that you're connected to on Facebook. You can connect with your contacts. You can find just new people that are listed. Like these people that are listed on the top right-hand corner, they're all my Facebook friends. I'm just not following them yet. And so I can scroll down and like find new friends of friends, similar like we do on Facebook. So that's a really, really good way to add new people. You don't want to add someone who has 20,000 followers. Like they're not going to become a Beachbody coach. They already have 20,000 followers. They're not going to recognize you. They're not going to notice you. They're not going to take the time of the day. So you want to kind of avoid those people. But this is kind of where I play the Instagram game. Someone is unmuted. If you're not muted, if you guys will mute yourself. Sorry, I don't know who that is. So this is kind of where I play the Instagram game. So for me, I find someone that I follow that already has 20,000 followers. For example, like Jillian Michaels. She's always a really good example. You can go to Jillian Michaels' pictures and you can like go see who's commented. And most of the people that are commenting maybe have usually have less than 1,000 followers. And that's kind of where I find my new friends and people to like and comment, and then I add them and direct message them. So like for me, I follow a bunch of like lifts, CrossFit ladies. So I'll go to their pages and then I'll see who's like commenting on their page being like, oh my God, Sarah, you look so amazing. Like you really rocked that deadlift. I'm so proud of you hitting a new PR. And I'll like be like, oh, who's this chick? Like, let me go to her profile page and then I'll see that she's like into health and fitness. She doesn't have that many followers and I'll start liking her photos and then I will add her on Instagram. So that's kind of like my Instagram game, similar to my Facebook game. So I find people that are following other top fitness people, not Beachbody people. So I'm not going to go to Amy Silverman. I'm not going to go to Nikki Johnson and be like, ooh, look at all these people following Nikki Johnson. Like they're already following Nikki Johnson for a reason. So you don't want to go and find those people. You want to find people that are completely Beachbody, unrelated, like not It Works people. You got to try and find other friends that way. Yeah, so again, top fitness guru people. And you also want to find people who have similar likes as you. And you want to kind of use this to strategize to help you find your tribe. Oops. Okay. The power of hashtag. What about people in the body competition world? Great example, Nikki. So I actually follow a lot of people like with NPC. They kind of do their own thing, but you can go and follow them. Or I wouldn't even follow them, but like, let's say you have this person is like NPC Nikki J. Like you go to her page, you see she's got 20,000 followers, and she's following like 1,000 people. Like you could go to her latest picture and see the people that liked her photo and that commented on her photo. And that's how I will find new people. So the same kind of fitness world, a little bit different, but right up that alley, Nikki. So that's a really good idea. Power of a hashtag. So hashtags are really, really important on Instagram because this is how people find you and this is how you will attract people. So you want to find a hashtag that embodies you. I'm still working on this. I know we really love Life by Design, but do not use this. And I'm saying this because it's a great hashtag. Don't get me wrong. Life by Design, like we all are living Life by Design, but I would not hashtag it on Instagram, because the second you do, it's like Beachbody, 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 Beachbody. I mean, the list is endless. So it's like you have to get creative and think of like something that is not Beachbody related, something that an It Works coach is not going to show up with. And you just kind of start to think about like which hashtags you're going to use. So I recently started to use Love This Life. This is also a really redundant, overused quote, but it's a little bit different because it's giving me people that are not coaches, and well, some are coaches, but they're giving me people that are not Beachbody. Like Life by Design is just like BB after BB, like down the list. But this hashtag, for example, kind of gave me a good variety. So what I did was with this hashtag was I went to the search toolbar and then I typed in hashtag Love This Life, and these are the pictures. So on the top you see the top posts, and on the bottom you see the most recent posts. So like the most recent post, actually this one you can actually see it, the quote, that's actually mine. But you don't really want to go to top posts because these are pictures that are usually like 1,000+ likes. Like somebody, they've already got their own tribe, like move on. So you want to go to the most recent, find somebody that's like new, has something that has to do with fitness, something that like catches your eye, and go to that person's profile and start liking 3 of their photos, and then follow them if you think that this is someone that you would like to have on your team. And if it is somebody that you want on your dream team, write down their Instagram handle and the hashtag that you use. So like I would write, in my tracker, I'd write, Misfit Jackson, hashtag Love This Life. So that I know later, like, this was a really good hashtag. I'm so glad I wrote it down. Let me try this again. Again, this is a really, really like generic one. You want to try and get creative, and you want to use hashtags that people you want to join your team. Like another hashtag that I've been playing around with is like no boss for me, or hashtag no boss living. And obviously we don't want to use, we're all goal diggers. That's also a really common one. We want to come up with our own hashtags that will embody like my tribe and Brooke's tribe and Hadley's tribe and Nikki's tribe. Like we want to come up with our own. And I know like Nikki, she has Epic Journey, also a really good hashtag, but also really, really broad. So you also, along with those 3 hashtags that you want to use, you want to start to change it up each week to find different people. Now, these are just how I'm finding people, but also you want to use your hashtags on the end of your photos. So like today, hashtag Transformation Tuesday. That's going to get you a lot of pictures, but it's a good hashtag to use. All right. Okay. This is a platform that you can use to get new followers, to unfollow people that aren't following you back, automatically like photos you are interested in, to follow people that might be, hey, Melissa, will you mute yourself? Melissa, sorry. Thank you, sorry. So actually Melissa used Instagrass. I don't know if you're still using Instagrass, Melissa, but I did the 3-day trial. So I put a lot of time into my Instagram because it's something that I really enjoy doing, because I'm trying to still figure it out. So I'm kind of playing around with it. So I decided I would give Instagrass the 3-day trial. And I think it's like $10 a month if you pay for it. I could be wrong. Melissa, if you know what the price is, if you'll just drop it in the chat box. But basically what I did was I tried the 3-day trial. You can see I did it on May 24th. It automatically likes photos that you want it to like. So like I put in the hashtag, I don't even remember, progress, not perfection, or something. I can put in as many hashtags as I want, and it goes through and it automatically likes photos that you're interested in. So that's pretty cool, because then people automatically start to be like, oh, who's this chick, Misfit Jackson? Like, why is she liking my stuff? And then it brings them to my page. And I actually was following 1,000 people that weren't following me back. So that was kind of nice for Instagram to go through and like weed out the people that I wasn't following. There's also an option for it to comment. I didn't do the comment section. And there's also an option for it to follow. And I didn't do the follow section because a lot of the hashtags I'm still using are a lot of Beachbody coaches. So I didn't want to like get 1,000 new Beachbody coaches in this thing. So for anyone that's trying to get started with Instagram, I highly recommend you just try the free 3-day trial. It's a really, really good place to start. Okay. So I know that was a lot of information about Instagram. Snapchat. Now, I'm not going to share a lot about this because I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but Snapchat is short and simple. It is a 3 to 10 second story that just shows up once. Someone can replay it if they want. And it's really short videos, short image. You can add words. You can add funny hats. You can add all sorts of things. But basically, I would use this. Okay, awesome, Melissa. 3 months for $25. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. It does all the work for you. Joshua Coates raves about Instagress. So if anyone wants to know about Instagress, ask myself or Melissa, because she is still, oh shit, sorry. Oh my God, what did I just do? She is still using it, and I know it's really worthwhile. Sorry, guys. But yeah, definitely check out Instagress if you're interested. Oh yeah, it is tax write-off, good call. So Snapchat, really short and sweet. You want to share your story. Like today, I always snap a picture of me during my workout or after my workout. And you just keep it short and sweet. You're just sharing what you're doing, sharing your workouts, your Shakeology, your dog, your house, your life. And you just got to get creative and be kind of direct. So the thing is, like, you want it to be clear, concise photos, clear, concise, quote unquote, snaps, because you don't want people to get distracted and like lose thought of what you're doing. And you also want basically people to be able to relate to you, but you also want them to think like, oh, I remember, did you guys see Susie? She was doing that insane workout today. Did you guys see her Snapchat on her story? Like, you want people to talk about you. And again, you want to keep it the same name as your Instagram name. And again, I could talk for a really long time about Instagram, but I just wanted to do like a short, sweet intro about kind of what it is. So I know it's kind of a lot of information from myself and from Hadley, but I figure, Brooke, we can probably do a whole other call on Snapchat because there's just so much. But the whole idea though, if you have Instagram and you have Snapchat, you want them to be the same. You want to have the same name, because I will tell you, I had someone add me on Snapchat a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I like snapped them and I didn't like show them my face. I like showed a piece of paper and I was like, who is this? And she was like, oh my God, it's so-and-so. I follow you on Instagram. And I was like, I had no idea. And so people will search you on Snapchat for the same name. So if you have Snapchat, I highly encourage you to change it to have the same name as your Instagram, and make sure that your Instagram handle somehow has to do with health and fitness. So.
Awesome. Wow. I have like 3 pages of notes. You guys like are really, really good at this. And like I said, and Susie even said, Hadley, I mean, I have 2.5 pages of notes on Facebook, and I've been doing this for 2 years. Instagram and Snapchat, I need a personal lesson on, because I don't. So you use Snapchat to find people to follow you then on Instagram, right? Kind of.
Well, I use Instagram, and that's how I find my followers.
Okay.
And people that use Instagram or that use Snapchat will, like, if they're like religious about Snapchat, they'll search your same handle, and that's how they find you on Snapchat.
Okay.
Because people pair it together. I didn't know. I'm still figuring that out because I'm not using Snapchat that much. But I know someone personally who built her business off Snapchat. So wow. Like, she did everything on Snapchat. Young? What?
Is she super young?
Yeah, she's around in her 20s. She's 26. I mean, she has like really 30. What?
I said, I feel really old with Snapchat.
Yeah, well, and she started in the very beginning of Snapchat, and she built her business around it. But I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, it's a lot of teenagers. But I mean, like, I know all my friends on Facebook. I mean, I have like 1,000 friends on Facebook that have Snapchat. And I'm like, I don't want you to all be my friend on Snapchat, but you can follow me, and I'll post my story, and you can follow my story. Because I'm not going to post everything on Facebook that I post on Snapchat. It's just a totally different outlet, and it's a good thing to explore. I know it's a lot because it's a third platform for you to use. It's like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't just get all 3 to be like, wow, we had this amazing call, I need them all. Like, I would, before you overwhelm yourself with 3, you need to make sure that you have one, like, really drilled down and focus on that. And then I would slowly start to add the others.
So on that note, Susie just said she doesn't mind if people follow her. If you guys go and follow top coaches, don't follow them or be friends with them on Facebook, because like Hadley said, once you're friends with them, they can see your friends list, and you don't necessarily want that to happen, because these top coaches, they know what they're doing, guys, and they're going through your friends list and they're friending them. So just be careful about that. But I loved a lot of this whole thing. I learned so much. I really did. And just a couple things that I want to really hammer home is that what Hadley said about, and Susie both, you make yourself your picture, that's you're open for business, you're the business owner, but show the pictures of your kids and your dog and everything else, because that is part of your story. So people don't want to just see health and fitness, because that gets annoying, because that's not everybody's whole life. So make sure you're showing the whole life, and then be the mess that you are. Like how Hadley said, like, we don't have it all together. I mean, if you have it all together, then we need to take notes, but definitely show the whole thing. Show, not all made up one day and, running out the door and your kids are both throwing temper tantrums, like whatever. Just make sure you're you and be the mess. And that was really, really great, Hadley, how you said to set the friends to private. I didn't even think of that, and that's very true. Make sure you do that, because you don't want people seeing your friends list. So definitely do that. I do have a question for both of you, kind of, I guess. I'm sure this is something that a lot of people struggle with, it's hard to come up, okay, go to the bathroom, go get daddy. It's hard to come up with content, right? Like we all struggle for content. And I think it takes a lot of time and, really preparing and thinking about you and diving deep into yourself to get that content ready. But okay, it's, tomorrow and I haven't posted and it's 5 o'clock. What do you suggest I do if I just can't come up with something that's really going to add value? Like, what do I do at that point? So I get something on Facebook and I don't miss a day of posting.
I do what Hadley does. I save those golden nuggets for later. Like when you have nothing, you're like, shit, you don't want to just post to post. We've all been there. We've all done that. It's gotten 1 or 2 likes and it's just stupid. Just don't do it. So save things for later, or like when you have downtime, start to plan your posts. And I know that we can't all plan our posts, but I think it's really important for you to have like that filler. And it's not just filler. It's like good filler content, like Hadley said, and just to have something in your phone.
Right. Well, and actually when I first started coaching, someone was like, take pictures of everything, because then you have just like so much content, like even if it's, whatever it is. But I mean, I know I still, even 2 years later, am like, shit, babe, I haven't posted today. Like I need to take a picture of us doing something, like whatever. What do you think, Hadley?
Yeah, I find myself in that boat where today I was like, oh my gosh, I've been working at church on vacation Bible school stuff all day. And I was like, I haven't posted anything. But I have this list, right? And I save it for that. I do the same thing. I take pictures of like anything that I see that might be, and I kind of save it. So if I'm short, like I have something really funny that my kid said the other day, and like people love like self-deprecating mom humor, like, oh, I did something really awful, or I don't know, I can't get all the laundry done or whatever, for whatever reason. Like people love that stuff because they're seeing that you're not perfect. So I just, those are the kinds of things I jot down, and I'm like, oh, this will be funny for a post. So
just like quick one-liner kind of things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily even have a picture.
Yeah, every now and then. I mean, I feel like, again, like I'm trying to find a balance, right? I feel like if you did one-liners all day long, people would get annoyed with that. But if it's like one a week, and it's legitimately funny, then people like it. But yeah, I feel like it's great to have a backup list, so you're not in that position of not being able to come up with anything and then just posting just to post.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to piggyback off of that. So like for me, like when you guys saw my Instagram, like I have my quotes, I have like my one picture quote. Like, so what I'll do for me personally is I will sit down when I have like 15 minutes and I will do like 20 quotes at the same time, so that I have them in my phone and I'm ready to just like throw one up, because I post more than 3 photos a day. So I need more than one quote made. And then also just to piggyback off that again, like when I post stuff in my notes section in my phone all the time. And when it comes to hashtags, I literally have a note section for just my hashtags, so that I'm using the same hashtags over again. Like for me, for my team name is Supreme. So I always hashtag Supreme Bees, because that's just my hashtag. I also always hashtag Dash of Badass. So I always make sure that I copy and paste those and put them right into Instagram so that it's consistent.
So, and when I did that recruiting thing with Josh, I think he said that he has his like list of hashtags, and you can have like 30 of them or something, right?
Yeah, but like so for example, tonight, like when you do a transformation post, like I post my picture and then you post your words. Like you can't have as many words on Facebook on Instagram because
Okay.
it will if it's too much, you'll go to post your picture and literally it will post 0 words. So you have to go back and figure out, and I haven't figured out how many words it is because it's not like Twitter where it's like 140 or whatever. I don't know. But so sometimes I won't be able to add all my hashtags. So I'll go back and be like, well, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I don't need this one.
Okay.
But you definitely want to find hashtags that other coaches are not using. And as you start to like figure out the logarithm of Instagram, like Life by Design, great, like fitness coach, great, but everybody uses it. So
Right.
it's like, you got to get creative and think of something different.
Right.
But good.
Okay. And then just, announcement is if you share from Instagram to Facebook, you don't get as many views. So, right, you want to post it on each one separately, or do you?
I would post it. I don't cross posts. I don't know if anyone does. I know Kristen, you used to on your page. Nikki, you do. I don't because I don't think you get as much traffic.
You don't.
I remember someone saying that, like right in the beginning when I started coaching, because they were doing it with their page and they were posting their same content from their page, their Instagram. They're like, if you can just take those extra 30 seconds, just post to Instagram, post to your page separately.
Copy paste on each thing.
Yeah.
Don't share.
I think it looks better.
It
Like,
does. It looks cleaner because you don't need all those hashtags on Facebook.
And I mean, and there's nothing wrong, Nikki, I see you freaking out over there. Like there's nothing wrong doing it. I just think that for some reason you get more traffic. I don't know.
And if you do it, when you post it to Facebook, go onto your Facebook and make sure you edit the settings so that they're public. Because when I share from Instagram to Facebook, it comes in friends only. So just go switch it up. I don't know. What questions do you guys have? I've taken up all the question time because you guys did awesome. That was amazing. Heather, go ahead.
Hey, Susie.
Hey.
As far as like the hashtags on Instagram, someone had told me that you could put all of your hashtags in the first comment. Like after you post your picture and you write your description of the picture, then the very first comment, you can put all of your hashtags there. Limit the amount of people that see it.
You can do that, and I know a lot of top coaches that do it, but I don't think it makes a difference. But the thing is, like, Instagram, you also want to think like, well, if I posted something yesterday, everyone that's scrolling today is not going to see that picture from yesterday. So like you'll notice like a lot of top coaches, and I follow Amy Silverman, but a lot of top coaches, they'll go back to yesterday's pictures and they'll actually delete their hashtags. And I was telling Kristen about this, and I haven't really figured it out. My brother's really big on Instagram too, and he does it. But they go back, and if it's been more than 24 hours, they go ahead and just delete the hashtag. So it's like, I don't know if it's just not traceable or it doesn't show up, not throw up. Figure that out. But you can, and like some people will do like the blah, 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 and then they'll do like dot, 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 and then all the hashtags too.
Wait, why did they delete them?
Because there's no point in having it.
I think they delete them so that their next comments and all their next likes are going to be on their most recent picture.
Yeah.
It's easier to keep up with that way.
Yeah, and also so that people don't take their hashtags.
That wouldn't be the worst idea.
What'd you say, Kristen?
That wouldn't be the worst idea. That's smart.
But like, I don't want like the no boss thing. I can't remember who I saw it on, but it wasn't a Beachbody coach. And I was like, this is genius. Like not mine. I didn't start this hashtag, but it's so genius because who wants to have a boss, that's a good way to get hashtags is to look at other people's, but you don't want to use the same hashtags as It Works people and other coaches, Beachbody coaches. So.
Interesting. No, you guys are money. I'm going to have to watch this again tomorrow because it was really, really good. And then like Hadley said, on all of your social media platforms, definitely stay neutral when it comes to politics and all that other good jazz, because you say one thing, you lose the other half. And then having your handle is health and fitness. I didn't even think of that. I got to go change mine.
Yeah, and I didn't think about it either, but when I redid, because I wanted to like build my brand on this whole red, white, and blue thing, and I was like, if I'm going to just be Miss Jackson, like I want people to like see it right there.
Right.
So.
Thank you guys. That was so good.
I hope you guys took lots of notes. I know I did. So I'm glad we could share this with you, and we'll have to do I think doing Snapchat on a PowerPoint is really hard because I feel like everybody needs that visual.
Yeah.
We'll have to play around with it at the next happy hour.
Nikki, do you have a question?
I think she's just so excited.
Oh, yay! Does anybody have any questions? So I just want to say, as always, Susie rocks the house. And then for the first time, Hadley has hosted her own call and did phenomenal. So really, really good job, guys. Way to go.
Thanks.
And thank you everyone for getting on. Being on live, I promise you, it changes your business. It's amazing and it helps. I mean, these question and answers and getting the interaction and the talking helps grow your business for sure.
Yeah. It's great to see everybody on here. Just like Brooke said, I mean, it's just versus call 2 weeks ago when I think there were 6 of us on. I mean, these team calls are so, so important. I mean, they make the world all over the place.
All right, guys, rock out the oh, go ahead, Nikki.
Sorry, I just did have one really quick question because I've had Snapchat for a really long time, a stupid long time, over a year and a half. I know.
I thought it just came out.
No.
No.
No. But I was wondering, if you're saying change your name to be more fitness oriented, and have fitness in it.
Like yours, Nikki, is NG's Epic Journey, right? NJ's
Right.
Epic Journey. I would keep it at that because that's
okay. But it doesn't have fit or.
I know, but I think journey, the word journey is related. I would keep it and then make sure your Snapchat is the same.
That's what the other thing I was gonna ask. You know what? You're my coach. Okay, bye.
If you have to delete your Snapchat and make a new one, then you have to. Or I don't know how that works with changing your name.
Well, it wouldn't matter, right? Because everything deletes in 5 seconds.
No. Yeah, but you have a handle just like you do on Instagram. But yes, everything does
I
delete.
didn't see that part of it.
You should be able to change your name on Snapchat.
Okay.
And not delete your account.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm gonna need
like Instagram.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
We'll have to have a Supreme call about it. Thanks, y'all. Sorry.
Awesome. But like Susie said multiple times, if you don't know all 3, I don't know all 3, focus on the one that you do know, become awesome at that, and then expand as necessary or desired. No need to work yourself up over it or go crazy trying to figure it out. So have a great rest of the week and month, everybody. And yay, that was a really, really good call. So awesome, guys. Have a good night.